What's up, everybody? Joshua here with Stacks to talk about Marvel's most evil organizations. Evil? Yes. So we're gonna run through 10 of their most evil organizations and sort of, point out, who runs the team and their most evil acts and just why are they so evil.
Right.
So the first one is AIM. So people who might know from the third Iron Man movie.
Yeah, which wasn't really like the AIM that I knew from the comics with their silly yellow suits.
Yeah, that's actually a funny point that you bring up. They have these yellow beekeeper suits, so they never really looked evil to me.
Yeah.
And I think it actually goes to their thing, because their shtick is that they just want to do science unburdened by morality.
But they have MODOK, dude.
Yes, they have MODOK.
Giant floating head guy.
Yes, who's very crazy. And the most evil thing they've done is they created the Cosmic Cube. In the movies, that's not how it happened. It
actually comes from the cosmos.
Exactly. But and that thing has caused so much trouble. It can manipulate reality. Thanos has gone after it. The Red Skull has had it before. So that thing is bad news.
Yeah. Well, AIM, they've been around for what, since the 60s or something?
Yeah,
they've been around a long time. So
next one is the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants.
Okay, I got a bone to pick with that one. It's all about. There's a reason why they dropped evil from in the movie, in the X-Men movies. They're just fighting for their cause. They're in a war, basically. So I think it's all in how you look at it.
But they have a more terrorist approach to it. Like, their most evil act is actually, their most classic leader is Magneto, but in their most evil act, Mystique was in charge of the group, and she assassinated Senator Kelly, which led to the Days of Future Past, where Sentinels took over the world. So I think that was sort of a lesson that their approach is wrong, whereas Professor X is trying to peaceful coexistence between mutants and humans.
Well, we'll see how that's working out for him.
Okay. Didn't he die? Okay, next one is Hammer, which is when Norman Osborn, aka the Green Goblin, took over the world, and as he saved the world, he made it look like he saved the world. So people put him in charge of the government. He got rid of S.H.I.E.L.D., replaced it with Hammer. And he made his own team of Dark Avengers, where he had Bullseye was Hawkeye, and Wolverine's evil son was
Daken,
Wolverine.
right?
Daken was Wolverine, and so that's what they did. And then at the end, they attacked Asgard because he got really full of himself, and there was this huge hero called the Sentry, and he has this evil side called the Void, and it's this uber destructive thing, and so. Hammer, trying to protect the world, really almost destroyed it.
Well, that just sounds incredibly convoluted and very comic booky, but okay.
Yeah, that's
evil.
Probably the most comic booky thing we could possibly say. Next one, not so convoluted. The Hand, just a group of evil ninjas.
Yeah, ninja, man. Why end of story. They're cool.
Yeah, no, they're
evil.
Cool.
Yeah, but they're cool evil. Come on, man.
And their most evil act we have here is that they. They killed people, they killed Wolverine and Elektra and brought them back as undead minions to be part of the Hand.
Come on, that's kind of cool.
That is pretty cool. And of course, they've actually got their minds back and defeated the villains. But yeah, that one's pretty cool. The Hellfire Club.
Oh, I love these guys. First of all right, they're mutants. But even other mutants can't really trust them, and they still dress like it's the 1700s. That's what I missed most in X-Men days, in X-Men First Class. I was happy to finally see the Hellfire Club kind of brought to life, but I miss those outfits, man. I love that they still dress like it's pre-Revolutionary War. Or something.
And I like that they're each named after a chess piece. So Sebastian Shaw, the leader, was the Black King. Yeah. Emma Frost was the White Queen. Which she kept as sort of her superhero, supervillain name after she left, which was pretty cool. The most evil thing they did was when Mastermind controlled a young Jean Grey who had the Phoenix in her and turned her into the Dark Phoenix.
That was, and that's a classic, great storyline. It was one of my favorites growing up, and I think they definitely qualify as evil. And I think they kind of work because they're really just out for themselves. They're not, unlike the Brotherhood, which has a cause. These guys are just really just bastards. And also you can make the argument, maybe this is why it didn't work in the movie. Maybe the most evil thing they brought back was 18th century garb.
Yeah.
One could say.
Yeah. So moving on, we have Hydra, which know from the comics as being a long-standing like evil organization, but their most evil act came from the movie Captain America: The Winter Soldier. So we have spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen that movie yet, which is really good. You should check it out. But well, actually, you go ahead and
all right.
reveal.
Look, it turned out that they had for decades basically been a shadow organization within S.H.I.E.L.D. They had corrupted S.H.I.E.L.D. Robert Redford was a bad guy.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, all-American hero Robert Redford was actually the villain. And and basically in order to stop Hydra, you also had to destroy S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a game changer for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But yeah, Hydra has been around for ages in the comics. And look, between them and Cobra Command, if you want an evil organization, you have to name it after a reptile.
Yes,
that's all I'm saying.
after a snake. And like the Hydra, their shtick is that if you cut off one of the heads, like other people are always there to like take it up and
we're seeing
that.
We're going to see that now in the Marvel Cinematic Universe at the tag at end of Winter Soldier, and it'll play out in Avengers 2. Is all these kind of splinter cells of that now.
Yeah,
with
Baron von Strucker.
Yeah.
This one's my favorite. It's the Illuminati, which is actually a team of good guys, including Iron Man, Mr. Fantastic, Beast, Black Bolt, Namor, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, and Hulk. Any other day, those are like all like Avengers, Fantastic Four, X-Men. So you think they're good guys, but it's sort of, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. They always try and have like save the world and do things, but they always ended up causing much more damage than they intended. For example, one thing they did was they tried to strike out at the Skrulls, these like evil aliens, before they became a bigger threat. But the Skrulls captured them, analyzed all their powers, and then used that to invade Earth in complete secrecy.
Wow.
Which was awful.
Secret invasion.
And the most nefarious thing they've done that's actually quite villain-like is that there's this. This is another convoluted plot, so forgive me. But there's this thing where alternate realities keep smashing into each other. So and the only way to stop it is to destroy the other reality, or at least the Earth on the other reality. So Namor pushed this trigger thing together, and it had like nukes attached to it, and it destroyed another world. So they're responsible for the death of like another like Earth. So which is crazy, but they convinced themselves they had to do it, and our Earth would not be here had they not. So was it good or was it bad?
Well, it kind of makes sense that Namor would be the one to pull the trigger, since he did kind of start off as sort of a villain and all that. But yeah, a-holes.
How dare you try and save the world? Here's another one: the Masters of Evil.
Enough said.
Yeah. What more do we need to say? And really, all they want to do is just beat up the Avengers and get them out of the ways. And Baron Zemo II is their most notable leader. And the worst thing they did was they actually did what they wanted to. They went to Avengers Mansion, just beat the crap out of all of them, and that was pretty much it. So they got what they wanted.
Yeah, I guess so. What'd they do after that? Just go out for drinks and like celebrate, go bowling?
Villains always play poker, I noticed, in the comic books. So maybe that's what they did.
Interesting.
Next one's Roxxon Energy Corporation, which is sort of like, we think of big oil in our world, or like big greedy corporations. They're pretty much the epitome of that in the Marvel universe. And the worst thing they did was that, the leader uses this thing called the Serpent Crown, which can control people's mind. So he used that to control like the president and to allow him to let Roxxon like run free and do whatever they wanted to do.
See, all you really need is money.
There you go.
Don't need a silly crown for that.
Source of evil.
But they've been around forever, and oddly enough, they haven't really been used that much in the Marvel movies.
Yeah. I believe they were. There was like a little Easter egg.
Yeah, in Iron Man 3, I think there was the thing with the executive that the Mandarin pulls out. But yeah, there's one that's still ripe for use.
Yeah. Another one is the Sinister Six. Not so much an evil organization, but it's like a long-standing, very iconic team. So I thought it worth including on this list. Their original leader is Dr. Octopus. He's pretty cool, and it's the likes of Vulture and Kraven, Mysterio, Electro, Sandman, all the iconic Spider-Man villains teaming up really just to kill Spider-Man.
Yeah. See, all right. I have a little bit of a bone to pick with that one, because I feel like if you're going to be an evil organization, you have to have a headquarters.
They usually do.
Maybe a healthcare plan.
usually in a
maybe
sewer.
something. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, well, they're evil and they're iconic, and they're going to get their own movie.
Yeah, and the worst thing they ever did was they put these satellites in orbit and then turned them all into mirrors to like superheat the Earth and like held it hostage. And of course, Spider-Man beat them, but he almost set the world on fire.
Okay.
And the last one is Weapon X. We all know they created Wolverine. And the worst thing they ever did was that they pretty much turned into Nazis, where they took all these mutants and put them in these camps and tried to enhance their skills and make them like killing machines. And when it didn't work out, they gassed them, which is really nasty.
That's pretty nasty. And they have also obviously shown up in the movies and kind of very similar kind of ways we've seen them. Just that counts. That's an evil group.
Yeah. So actually, my favorite is actually Illuminati. What about you?
Well, I did say how much I like the Hellfire Club, but I'd have to say
You like that garb?
I do. I think it's a cool gimmick, but I think overall probably Hydra, just because.
Hail Hydra.
Look, man, Hail Hydra. They're the ones who've got their act together the most.
Yeah. There you go. So let us know who you guys think are the most evil organization by voting in our poll, which you can find at the bottom of this page. And for all things evil, keep it locked to IGN.